Hello, all you lovely people, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the game Eternights. Now, it's a sort of a genre mashup kind of a game because it's got dungeon crawling elements, it's got a very persona type animation style. It's got action RPG elements as well. So it brings together all these different genres. And the question that we have to ask ourselves is that does it do a good job at it? Now, that's exactly what I'm going to be exploring in today's video. So kindly stick around till the end of the video and you will be able to make an informed decision if you should purchase Eternights or not. So the game is a debut title because this is from an indie studio called Studio Psy. Now, what this game does is it boldly throws players into this post-apocalyptic dating sim. Yes, you have heard that right. It's a dating sim infused with some action RPG elements. That's why I said it is a mashup of different genres. Now, the game released in September of 2023. I played this on my PC, which is the Asus ROG Strix G15 Advantage Edition from 2021. And this game was a breeze on my PC, no issues at all. Now, it definitely sparked curiosity when it came out because the animation looked really nice. So as soon as you jump into this game, just like any other Japanese RPG, you are supposed to be typing in your name and all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing on this particular screen, just giving it my name, um, Theo, and yeah, you have your character named after you. Now, it has a unique premise, but the question is, does it deliver the thrilling adventure that it kind of says it is? Or does the ambition of this indie studio crumble under its own weight? So let's dive a little deeper into this whole world of Eternights and see if it's worth your time and affections. So let's talk about the setting. Now, this is set in the near future in Seoul. So it's a Korean game. Now, K-pop is very popular right now. So let's make a Korean game. I mean, of course, there are many Korean games out there. I'm just saying that, I mean, K-pop is popular. But hey, I digressed. So coming back to it, it's near future Seoul. And the name of the game is essentially the name of a company. There's a company called Eternights, and this is a company promising youthful eternity. Means that it's going to give you the fountain of youth, so to speak. It will help you not get old. So the idea is to kind of give that youthful existence to all the people around the world, but instead of giving that gift of youthfulness, what this company does is it unleashes chaos instead. Now, they are on the eve, you could say, or on the brink of launching a revolutionary drug. But what happens is, there's this kind of an accident in the facility, and what it does is the drug um, kind of leaks into the environment, and then you have humans transforming into monsters. And that surprisingly is this strange barrier also that appears around the city, and you will find yourself trapped within. So you're this character whom you've named. You saw the naming, which I was doing just a few seconds back, and you're going to be fighting for your survival with your friend Chani. So in the beginning, you saw two characters. One was Chani, one was you, and you also come across another character called Yuna, who's a pop star. And then there is this accident which leads you to lose your arm, and that happens right at the start of the game, and it is crucial for the story because you losing your arm is actually a crucial part of the story. So very early on, you lose your arm, and you're dragged into this war that you don't understand, and you become pawns in a battle for the fate of the world. So that's the story in a nutshell. But if you look at the combat aspects, or if you look at the fighting element of the game, or elements of the game, now this is obviously an apocalyptic game. and there are monsters, but it's not just about fighting monsters. It's about forging connections. Why? Because hey, it's a dating sim as well, if you have not forgotten about it. So you are going to be seeking romantic entanglements, and you're going to be seeking these platonic bonds with other characters. Now, there is Yuna that I've spoken about, but there are three other characters that you can get romantically involved with. And these are very intriguing characters. I'm not showing a lot of the gameplay because I don't want things to get spoiled. So, if you want to get into this game, it's best that you buy this game and then explore the game on your own. But now that I've played a decent amount of the game, I can give my personal opinion as to whether I feel it's worth your time, whether it was worth my time or not. I'm just going to share my personal experience as well. So I was saying that you have these different characters that you can get romantically involved with. There are various opportunities for emotional intimacy and um, well, I mean, you can even unlock, in fact, some powerful skills through these deepening of ties, so to speak. And this is going to enrich your journey. But remember that each character is written very differently. So your interaction may lead to very different things based on the character that you're interacting with, because not every character responds the same way. And that is a very good thing, because coming from an indie studio, they've still been able to, put all of this into this game. And that is commendable for sure. Now, you have Chani as well, who's like a sidekick and offers this kind of a not romantic, comedic relief. Sorry, I mean, because there's so much of romance in the game, so romance is just coming off my tongue. But yeah, Chani's your friend. He is going to support you. He is also the comedic relief in the game. Even the way he runs, the running animation of this particular character is so interesting. When you find him running, you would be reminded of so many animes that you had seen as a child. And apart from the fighting, apart from the deepening of these ties that I've spoken about, there's also the action RPG element. Well, first of all, it's not a very deep action RPG, so it's not like you're going to be greeted with loads of weapons, armors, upgrade options of skills, abilities, etc., and all that. So no, if you're expecting that, this is not that game. Apart from that, you also have dungeon crawling, like I spoke about. So you are going to be uh, crawling a lot of dungeons. Now, when I say crawling a lot of dungeons, this is not those medieval dungeons that I'm talking about. The level design itself is very dungeon based, dungeon type. So you are gonna have you moving around these dungeons. Of course, since it's an action RPG, there's action as well. There are combos that you will come across. There is the standard evading attacks, then the combos, chain of attacks, and there are different types of enemies as well. Now, certain enemy types and certain bosses, they wield potent barriers as well. So these barriers would demand you to execute some quick time event kind of uh, button mashing or quick time event, you would say, in short. And what this will do is it will shatter their defenses. It will shatter whatever barriers they had, and it will also expose their vulnerabilities. So while you're playing this game will test you in terms of pressing the button at the right time because of those quick time events. Yeah, you get it wrong, you miss the chance, then you have to do the whole hoopla again. Practice makes perfect, is what I can say. And what it allows you to do, however, is that it allows you to weave together these different attack types, these different combos, and you are going to get plenty of chances to evade as well. So while you are in these action scenes, right, you have all of this canvas in and around you that you can move around in, you can run around. And as you can see, if you're not dungeon crawling, you're surrounded by this area where you're surrounded by enemies and you have to kill these enemies to progress further. Now, there are obviously abilities as well, since I spoke about the action RPG element, but they're not very deep. Now, you'll transform from a fledgling fighter to more like an unstoppable force by the end of the game. So the character progression is there, but it's just not that deep, is what I would say. Now, while Eternights thrives on thrilling action, on the dungeon crawling bits, but again, the pulse of the heart of the game is the bonds that you forge with your companions. Now, that is the most important aspect of this game. So there is Yuna that we spoke about, the fallen idol. There's Min, there's Sia, and then there is Yohan as well. Uh, and there are various paths that you have for love, for understanding, uh, building relationships. And there are these story elements as well, which unfold in a beautiful 2D animation. The animation is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And as you can see on screen as well, it is really good. So that's the heart of the game, to deepen your bonds with all these various characters that you will come across. And the design of the game overall is really great. It sticks to the tried and true, you could say, often this kind of a familiar yet enjoyable trek through these apocalyptic corridors. And it's not revolutionary, but hey, the levels are well crafted and they're sprinkled with light, with accessible puzzles. They're frequent checkpoints as well. Visually, I would say Eternights is really good. I mean, every single pixel oozes charm, oozes character. So it's a very atmospheric world that they've created. And you have these nice colors in the background. The particle effects are great. You have these striking neon hues. And it's generally a dark game. It's not very bright. The other day I was playing Scarlet Nexus as well. And that was a bright game, but this is not a bright game. Most of what you see are all surrounded by darkness. But those neon lights, they shine through in that dark kind of an environment. So it is, I would say, a polished game, a polished 2D, 3D kind of a mix mash game. But the reason why I'm saying polished is because it's coming from a very small studio. And while it's not pushing the graphical boundaries, but the visuals really impressed me. It stayed on with me. And especially considering, again, the budget of the game, the size and scale of the developers. And it's worth noting that the playtime of this game, it falls on a shorter side when compared to other RPGs as well. Because when we hear RPG, we're like, we want hundreds of hours. No, this is not going to give you hundreds of hours of gameplay, but it will give you a decent amount of gameplay, somewhere around the 40-ish mark. And as far as the price goes, in India, I paid around 11.99 rupees on sale when I picked this up. So it was not very expensive. It's less than $15 if I translate that into US dollars. And the reason why I say that this is a good game and easy to recommend is because of the inexpensiveness of the game. At 11.99, it's not very expensive. And you also have to give kudos to this small team. And if we don't help small studios like this who are trying to make games, then hey, who else is going to help them out? So it's crafted by the small and compact team, but it definitely impressed me, visually at least. It's great looking. So there are some quibbles, there are some hiccups midway, but hey, it's not a AAA title. So I obviously, when I went in, my expectation was not that, but me personally, I was satisfied. In fact, it bet all my expectations. It overperformed. So I didn't go in with a lot of expectations. But if you have a lot of expectations like deep RPG, deep satisfying action RPG, you're going to be disappointed. So it's the kind of game that wears its heart on its sleeve. And it's an ambitious game for what it is. And yes, it stumbles sometimes. It's not perfect. The story is okay. It's not great, but the animation is absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. And therefore, I will say that it's a game worth checking out, especially at this price of less than $15. Give it a go and let me know what you think about it. I can recommend it easily at this price, but if it's more expensive, maybe not. So that's it for this video, folks. If you've liked the content and if you've enjoyed it, then I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Eternights, I recommend it. Let me know if you think otherwise or if you agree with me in the comments section. But that's it for this video, folks. It's a wrap for this one, and I'll see you lovely folks in my next one. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.